I would like to give you some of my top tips for starting out as a new instructor. Now, firstly, I want to say well done, whether you are totally brand new on your career or whether you are a little bit along the way. Well done you for overcoming whatever fears you had, whatever challenges to actually do the work and become a teacher. So firstly, you have to celebrate that. One of the things that I always say to the teacher trainees that go through our courses is that it's always really overwhelming when you look outside and you think about all the teachers that you admire and you think, I'll never be like that. They're so far along in their career. I always remind people just like you that you have to start somewhere. So celebrate yourself, celebrate this is where you are a teacher, well done. Now, when you're starting out, the first thing that I would advise is for you to be enthusiastic. So take this early part of your journey as an opportunity to really get excited about the world of teaching. Now, one of the big priorities as a new teacher is to get permanent classes. And there's a few steps that you should take to get those classes. The first one being, you want to get on the radar of the studios that you want to teach at. So go to the studio, be present, introduce yourself to the owner, say hi, go to classes, and then you can very casually say, I'm available for covers, I'd love to help out. I'd love to help out at events if you ever need anyone to put the mats out. Basically, you want to show that you're enthusiastic. You want to show these studio owners that you're really going to be an asset, that you've got an amazing attitude. So it's about showing up and showing your enthusiasm and your passion and being willing to do a little bit of work. I'm not going to say for nothing, but being willing to be one of the types of people that is available and loves to help out. And you can express that enthusiasm by saying, I'm available for covers, I've got lots of availability in my schedule, or I'm super available at last minute, whatever you think is going to be appealing to them. And that's one of the ways that you start showing up. You want to get on a covers list. Now, our studios in Byron Bay, super busy. We get instructors applying to us all the time, and it's really hard for us to sort of sift through and work out who are going to be a good fit for our studio and who are the great instructors. So another one of my little tips for you is to create a little video of you teaching, pop videos on your Instagram. Instagram plays a really important part for when you're looking at, I'll always look at a potential teacher's Instagram, because that's where you can get a good feel for their style of teaching, their general vibe. So Instagram, I've got a love-hate relationship, but if you're willing, ready and able, I would certainly start posting on Instagram, because that's how you position yourself as an instructor. You position yourself, you're showing the world, this is what you do now, this is who you are, and this is your style of teaching. So the more you can showcase your personality, your personal flair, like what flavor you bring to your classes, that really helps potential studio owners know whether you're going to be a good fit for them. So another little piece of advice that I would give you is take all the classes. So anything that you're offered, take it. As long as it doesn't conflict with your schedule, absolutely take as many classes as you can. And that's just about, again, it's showing enthusiasm, showing willingness, showing that you are there, you are ready to take on whatever is thrown your way. Down the track, that's when you can start to massage your schedule, and you might decide, I only want to teach Monday to Friday, or I only want to teach Tuesday to Saturday, or I only want to teach if I can have 3 classes in a row. That is for later. Right now, you just want to get a foot in the door. So I would say take anything that comes your way, put your hand up for all of the covers, offer to teach the owner, offer to come in and do a little demo class for them. Say, can I teach you a little sequence so you can get a feel for my teaching? So there's some little tips and tricks. Other advice about starting out is just be okay with not being a perfect teacher. Obviously, as you're brand new in your career, I really encourage teachers to focus on the basics. So get some class plans that you feel really confident teaching. So practice the same class. Like you might have 4 classes, you might even only start out with 1 class, but 4 class plans that you know inside out, you've practiced them, so that when you do get the opportunity to teach, the feedback from the studio, the feedback from the clients is going to be good. You don't have to try and master all of the repertoire and all of the terminology and all of the anatomy. Just start reasonably narrow, and then you can keep adding to your toolkit, adding to your repertoire as you get more comfortable teaching. So another thing that I would say is when we teach instructors how to teach, we like to teach you all of the things. So how to move around the room, how to use your voice, how to touch clients, how to use anatomical terminology, how to cue really well, how to use music. Like there are so many elements to teaching. I would definitely recommend that you start reasonably small when you're a brand new teacher. So even though you want to work towards moving around the room, touching every client, using every single client's name in a class, making sure you're providing motivational cues, movement cues, like all of the things, that's where you want to get to. But in the meantime, focus on teaching a really good class. And it might be, depending on your teaching style, it may be that you demonstrate almost all of the class when you're first getting started. And that is okay. You want to build your confidence slowly and gradually, and then you add more of the bells and whistles. So don't be afraid to start with I don't want to say a watered down version, but don't be afraid to be really good at a few aspects of teaching. Like I said, have a really amazing class plan. Maybe you're not walking around the room and adjusting every client. Maybe you're demonstrating most of the class, and maybe you choose like one exercise in your class where you're going to walk around and you'll adjust 2 people. And that's how you start to add on and start to work towards becoming an expert teacher. And then another piece of advice I would give is to be kind to yourself. It's really overwhelming, this journey, so be gentle with yourself. Make sure that your self-talk is spot on. So you're not saying, I'm not good enough, or that was a terrible class. Let's say you teach a class and you think, I could have done better. Reflect on that and say, okay, how am I going to take the learnings from this class into my next class? And so instead of berating yourself or saying, oh, I did a terrible job, you say, okay, that was a great learning experience. I know now that I have to stay on my mat for the warm-up, otherwise people get confused. So whatever the learnings are that you get from the class, just write them down. You can even have a notebook. So I know people that have a binder, and they write their class plans and they keep them in their binder, and then they'll write themselves notes. So it really helps to, when I'm talking about these learnings, maybe write yourself some notes to say, okay, next time I'll do this differently. And it just helps, just the sheer fact of writing it down, even if you never refer to it, the sheer fact of writing it down helps it kind of go in a little bit more. Another little tip for you would be to ask for feedback. So go to teachers' classes who've been teaching longer than you, invite teachers who've been teaching longer than you to come and watch you teach and ask them, what did you think? Or let's say a teacher comes to your class and you know that they're a teacher at the studio, or you know that they're a teacher, ask them for feedback. Just say, I would love to hear from you. I treat feedback as a gift. I want to learn and become a better instructor. What would you do differently? What tips do you have for me to improve my teaching, or for me to learn and develop? So lots and lots of stuff for you to think about, but the most important thing is that, as I said at the beginning of this video, you are here, you have done it, well done, you're already a teacher, so be gentle with yourself. Be enthusiastic, show up, be the person that goes the extra mile, be the team player, just be a lovely person to have as part of any community. Treat clients like gold. Now, I haven't mentioned this, so I'm gonna pause my little summary and really dig in here. Treat clients like gold. And this applies to wherever you're at in your teaching journey. So whether you're absolutely brand new or whether you've been teaching for a really long time, treat clients like they are gold. So I say to the instructors who work with me, every client should feel like they are your most important client of the day. So make them feel special, use their name, ask how they went with class, ask them about, what are you doing today? What are your plans? Get to know them. It makes the world of difference. So if you can make your clients feel special, feel seen, then they will want to be part of your community and they'll want to come to your classes again. So I've given you lots and lots of juice to think about. Be kind to yourself. Watch yourself talk. Practice makes perfect, so get as much experience as you can, even if it's teaching your mum in the basement, whatever it is, start getting your rhythm, start getting your groove on, and all of the good stuff is coming to you, I promise.